We can wait a bit. All right, okay.
All right, Gav, off you go, mate.
Right. Have a little swing first. Got it. Right. I got to say to Derek, we're more than halfway through August. More than halfway through August. So the daddies are going to start appearing. And within a month, we're going to be on the pullers on fry patterns. And to be honest, the way this year has gone with the weather, I think you may even start doing it in the next fortnight because everything seems to be advanced. You know what I mean? I've been picking blackberries for 3 weeks. So, right. We're going to start with a pulling pattern, like a zonker pattern. We're going to... The hook is one of the parties already. It's Attitude Extra. And it's to a size 4. Yeah. It's going to be Vineyard, Glister, Sparkle Dub for the body. Nice and simple, nice and easy. Bit of mink for the wing. And feature nice. Give it a bit of weight. Right? Okay. Right. So take a silk, catch it on. I'm using, this is 12 Benici. Just give it a little base. And then I don't want that scissors. I'll that scissors instead. Trim the waste away. Dubbing tool. Catch your dubbing tool on. Make a loop. Catch it in so it's nice and tight. Put a little bit of finish there and cut your thread away. It just makes life easier to form the actual dubbing loop itself. So with our loop made, we take some of the glister, and this is the sparkle dub and it's tan, but you know, you can change it to whatever color you want. The pearl is good, but I like the tan because it's just the type of fishing I do. It's nice and dark. You know, I use this in rivers and lakes, and this is like a bullet color. So we take some of the glister, 2 good pinches. We just break it up between our fingers, 2 or 3 pulls. We want to keep it about, say, 1.5 inches long. Go back to our dubbing loop. Just open it slightly and feed the dub inside it. Just feed it in so it's nice and loose, nice and long. Open it as you go. Make sure it fits in. There you go. A little bit more, and that's enough. Right, you can see that, yeah? We got about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. Just spread it out, make it nice and even, and then twist him up, put it nice and tight. Where's my brush? Get a dubbing brush ready. Just tighten it. Come in with a comb and just pull it out. Nice and steady. When you got a, that's it. When it's coming out nice and tidy, keep tightening. Now we take a dubbing brush and just scruff it right out. Pull the fibers like so. And when you've done that, finger and thumb, just pull the fibers so they sit on one side. Okay, and this is going to form our body. So just like so. Yeah, can you see that?
Yeah.
Right. Come back with the thread to the back of the hook. Back of the hook. And when you start catching on, just pull the fibers backwards and just work up the hook with touching turns. Up, up, pull it backwards, pull it back. It may look a bit fidgety and a bit difficult to do, but it really, really isn't. When you get used to it, it's simple. As you're going up, you want to leave about, oh, I'd say 5 mil from the head. So when you're at that stage, put it on, catch your, get your thread, cast it back on, turn underneath the dubbing loop. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. When you caught it in, trim the dubbing loop away and the bit of thread. Pull it all back, your finger and thumb, neaten it up. Come back to your dubbing brush, put your thumb there, and yes, brush it out, form a body. So it's nice and light, nice and flashy. Take your time with it, get it right, pull all the fibers out, and when you're at that stage, just give it a little twist, and there you are. That's the body. Easy, light, nice and sparkly, simple. Right. A mink patch. I don't know how you boys use your Zonker strips, if you buy them in strips or if you cut them yourself. Do you know what to cut them? Do you know what to do?
No.
Are they on, Derek, are they on mute?
Two razor blades. There's a lot on mute, yeah.
But take them off mute so we can have a chat then, we can talk to them. Right. So I can see if I can get a little patch. Right, if you ever buy a patch,
yeah,
then my what fur it is, what I usually do is, where's my bulldog clip? There's my bulldog clip. Get a bit of board with the bulldog clip. Right? Catch your fur under the bulldog clip with the pelt towards you or the skin towards you. It's a bit easier to see than do when you're looking away, so we'll do it that way. Okay. Now what a lot of people would do is they'll hold the board, take the blade and just cut down it. But what happens is if you do that, the fur underneath gets cut away. So what you want to do, what I normally do is, I did have a piece here with a line on it, but it's gone. What I tend to do is hold the board from me, put a straight line down with a pen, cut into the pelt. If I can do it this way, if you can see me, right? I'll hold the pelt, cut into it, like so. So you make a hole, and then lift the pelt and cut upwards towards yourself. And what happens is you don't cut any of the hairs away, so you get a true Zonker strip. If you cut it like that, if you put it on there and you cut it through like so, all the fur comes away. See it?
yeah.
All the fur falls away, and the strip you're trying to cut is ruined. So lift the pelt up, put it in, and cut it. Just nibble it towards yourself, and you get a nice, true, decent strip. Check that away. Right.
No, raspberries.
When we got a good strip, get rid of the. You always get little bits of waste, little bits of rubbish, little bits of baldy patches. You know, animals are just like humans, I suppose. You take your strip, you take your strip, go into the front and cut, say, 3 or 4 mil of the fur away. So you leave a small bald patch. Cut that little bald patch into a point. Just like so. And that's your tying in base. If you don't do that, you put the head on and it makes the head massive and the fur just goes all over the place and it looks really scruffy. So just trim that fur away, make the little triangle, catch him on to where you want to tie him. Give it a little crease, put him on. So the point of the triangle just sits short of the eye. And just 1, 2, 3 turns. Position him so he sits nice and neat on the hook. Fold it back and secure it in.
Some of the lads are still having a problem getting in, Gav.
Are they?
Yeah,
I hope you're recording it for them.
yeah.
Right. That's our body tied in, and that's our wing tied in. And if you notice, I've used a short hook. I haven't used a long streamer hook. Shorter hook is a lot better than the long hook, because if you use the long hook, when you're fishing it, the wing can slide around the hook and get trapped in the bend. So if you use the shorter hook, it doesn't happen. It stops it. That's why these predator hooks, as you can see, they're short, but they got a nice wide gape.
Yeah.
They're a lot better than the longer hooks. Right. So you got your body and you got your wing. What I tend to do is when I see the end of the body, the fibers, just go in and trim the wing the same length. Just like so. Little piece you got over. Where's he gone? There it is. Just trim that up. This little piece you got over from the end. Take petition tool. Hold the pelt, or the piece of pelt. Spread the fur so it's nice and level. Catch in with your petition tool. And trim the pelt away. Okay. Back to our dubbing loop tool. Make a loop. Make sure it's nice and secured. Don't cut the thread away this time, just put it at the back of the vise. Open the loop up. Catch your fur inside. Like so. Spread it. So it's nice and even. And tighten it up. This is going to form our hackle. Tighten it, tighten it, tighten it. Dubbing brush. Pull it out. Pull it out. When we're there, pull it all one way, exactly like you did with the dubbing. And then just turn on, just to give the head a little bit of color and a little bit of life. Wiggle your thread through the fur. Catch your loop off. Like so. Come in with your dubbing brush. Smooth it all back. Just like so. Push it all back with your finger and thumb. And form a nice neat head. Give it a bit of weight, bit of life, bit of movement. Bead chain eyes. A medium size, because you can get all different sizes. These are the standard ones of a plug chain. I never buy them. Always go to a plug chain. Now, when you're tying your bead chain eyes on, if it's a cat's whisker or if it's a streamer or a zonker, what have you, never put it on the eye. You always put it on the back of the head, so where the wing where the hackle would start. Okay, so you put it on the back end. Put 1, 2, 3 turns on. So it's like that. twist it towards yourself, come underneath. 1, 2, 3, that way. Give it a little twist, make sure it sits perfect. Then you go from the front backwards. 1, 2, 3, from underneath. So from the back forwards. 1, 2, 3, and that's your eyes set. Thread on. We're finished. And that's it done. Cut that a little bit further. Take a little bit of whatever you want to use. I use the UV. Let's catch it on. This is the diamond fine from Deer Creek. Just through the eyes, turn him upside down. Coat the head. Let him run a little bit. Smooth the vice, just leave the resin run. Where's my torch? When you're ready, just set the resin. Just like so. Questions? Come on, shout them out.
The bead eyes, Gavin,
Right.
would you always put them on the top, or would you sometimes mount them underneath so the hook flips over?
I've always put them on top.
Yeah.
I've always put them on top. There are patterns you can do it, like I think it's a Crazy Charlie, they put them underneath.
Yeah.
But they want the hook to cock, don't they? So you can fish it on and bump it on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I've always mounted them on top. I don't see much of a difference, to be honest.
Okie dokie. Thank you.
So what do you think of that?
Tidy.
You can vary the colours.
Yeah.
You can paint the bead chin eyes if you want. You can paint them black. You can paint them orange. You can add a little throat in if you like, a red throat or an orange throat. And you don't even have to put the eyes on. We don't have to put the eyes on. Or you can use resin eyes.
Mm.
You know, if you want it lighter, because some people find it a little bit difficult to cast with the bead chin eyes. Yeah, so if you're casting a distance, maybe the resin eyes, which are a lot lighter, would be better. But that's the standard one I use.
That was nice. Thank you.
So it's sparkle up, nice and light. And when you tie it on, it goes to nothing. As soon as you brush it out, it just goes to nothing. The wing, nice short hook, arc in the front and eyes. Once you get into doing them, you could just knock them out. You can tie them, you can downscale them to a size 12 if you like, or you can upscale them to snake size. Yeah? Any more questions?
That was good.
Chuck them at me.
How do I get this lot to rejoin? They're still having problems.
I'm tying the flies. You're the technical officer.
Testicle officer.
Yeah. So that's just a simple Zonker pattern. Okay, lads?
Yeah.
Right. What are we going to have next? We will get this fur out of the way because it's just going to bloody blow everywhere. Right, and put the dubbing out of the way. Right, should we go for an egg? Do you boys fish eggs?
Yeah.
Egg patterns?
Eat them as well.
Huh?
Eat them as well.
Yeah. Oh, I bet you would, yeah.
I'm going to say boiled eggs.
Right, well, it used to be a bit of a pain in the arse, to be honest, to tie an egg, because I used to get the egg yarn and used to cut it in lengths and tie it on and tie it on and tie it on. So you'd have something maybe the size of like a tennis ball. But of course, now you get eggs to see or the egg plastic, which makes life a lot easier. So we take, it's a straight grub hook from Partridge, and it's a size 10. And we're going to mount it with, because these are normally fished, well, they're always fished, I would say, under a bung. So you need a little bit of weight. You need a little bit of weight in the head just to take it down. Okay, for it to settle in the water. You boys must have fished them. Yeah. So we take a bit of a, this is a vineyard brass pink bead. I think it's a 3mm. Thread it on. Now up a little bit. Thread it on. Sit it up the head. Take your thread, whatever thread you want, whatever color you want. I use this is the clear, it's not the UTC. It's the super strong one from Deer Creek. You catch on with the thread, make a little dam behind the bead just to stop it moving. Trim it away. Touching turns, come to the back of the hook and leave your silk hang. Take a length of your egg yarn, your ecstasy, whatever you want to call it. This is Egg-tastic from, like I said, Deer Creek. Take a length. And what I tend to do is just brush it out. You can use, your missus will probably have a eyebrow brush. Just one of those, just brush it out to get all the fibers up. Well, you might have one, Derek, anyway, so.
I need, well, I got the wire on top.
Yeah, well, yeah. Give it a little brush just to get all the fibers out. Get them all nice and fluffy. A little bit there. Okay. Pull a little bit of fluff off the end so you bare the core. Catch the core in. Cut that off a little bit, make it a bit shorter. Catch the core in, nice and secure. And really dog it down. Pull the fibers so they face one way. Okay. And just turn. Up the hook, touching turns. Pull the fibers so they face one way, like you would do with a hackle. Up we go. Up we go. Pull them.
Are you in a blob, Gav?
Yeah, that's basically what it's like. That's basically what it's like. Just pull them back. Keep them nice and tight. Right up to the eye. Pull it. Really get into the bead. Pull the fibers back. In you go. Wiggle the thread. Wiggle the thread. 3 turns. 1, 2. Don't cut it with the scissors because you have a little tuft coming out. Take your blade. Pull it tight. Done. Come in. Whip finish. Behind the bead. 5, 6 turns. Pull it tight. And there we are. Fluff it out. Like so. Take a curved scissors and just trim away. So you get a real nice round, eggy shape. If you fish small still waters, these really catch fish when it's cold. Under the bung, they really do the business. There's one color called cheese.
Yeah.
And if you look at it in the water, it changes color. It goes like a greeny color.
Yeah.
And it really down in I don't know if you know Garnfruit. You know Garnfruit on the cross arm. It's really, really good down there. But that's how easy an egg is. They used to be a pain in the ass to tie, to be honest, when we had the old
Yeah.
nuisance. You used to waste so much material. It was unbelievable. And of course, if you want to make an hotspot and you got the old fashioned stuff, you tie your ecstasy in, come halfway up the hook, just put a little V in of this, and as you tie in the body in, move the V out the way, put it in, pull it back, and then you got hotspot in the middle.
Mm.
Easy. But the easiest way to create the hotspot is put the bead on. Nice pink bead, a nice orange bead.
Yeah.
Don't use tungsten, because you'll sink your blob. You sink your bung. So just a brass bead. Done and dusted. Oh, you'd be surprised how many people, because everybody's got tungstens now because they're checking nymphing and river fishing, and they stick the tungsten on it, and as you're fishing it, you just see the bung go in, they strike, and you think, well, it's not a fish, because your bead is too bloody heavy. Right. That's an easy, 2 easy ones done. Chuck these out of the way. My beads, my hooks. Every bag on.
I bet your desk is a mess, isn't it, Gav?
That's what the bags are for. Chuck them back in. Right. We said at the beginning, we're halfway through August. So the daddies are going to be coming out. So we're going to do detached daddy. Yeah?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah? Okay. So that's our egg done. Right. Get it all out. I did tie some legs earlier on, but I'll do 1 or 2 with you now just to prove that I can do them. Pre-cape is going to be our hackle. We're going to have some fiery brown seals for the body, bits of the body. Full cell foam. You can use, to be honest, you can use whatever colour you want. You can use hot orange and the fish take them. We'll stick to the brown because it's more natural.
That's the standard 2mm foam.
It's,
Or razor foam.
yes, it is. It's 2mm. I'm sure it's 2mm, yeah. Can't see it on it. Yeah, 2mm. Old, cheap old pre-cape for the wings, little wing tips. Of course, needle to put the foam on, and we got some pheasant tail fibers. Where are they? Let's get a pheasant tail ready. Check that over there. We got a pheasant tail end to make the legs. Okay, we'll put those aside for now. Just check the tools out the way because it's going to get in the way. Right. Needle. As fine a needle as you can get. You're going to be tying the body on there, and we're going to be folding it back. But you want to take, before you put the needle in, there's that bloody thing going on. Right. Get some steel wool. Get some steel wool and clean your needle. So you want no sharp edges whatsoever. You want to be able to slide the foam off as easy as you can. Okay? Ooh, right. Put your needle in the vise. Come on. Make it nice and tight, okay? Let's see what it is. Now we go to our foam. It says the closed cell foam. Just put it on a piece of wood. Straight edge, just cut it whatever level width you want it. I normally use about, say, it's about 3mm, I'd imagine. It's about 3mm. Okay? Oh, use some materials doing this, I tell you what. It's unbelievable. Right. Got a needle on. take out foam, spear it to the center, like so. Push it down. Take your thread, and if you can get an unwaxed thread, much better. Waxed would stick to the needle and it makes it a bit of a pain in the ass to get off. So unwaxed, put a few turns on, nice and loose. Trim the waist away. Come up about 3/4 of the way up the needle, like so. Bring the foam down to the thread. Get a little bit more. Okay. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 turns. Fold your foam forward on itself. Hold it, come around. 1, 2, 3. When you're there, give it a tighten. That's the first bulb done. Fold the foam back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fold it forward. 1, 2, 3. Fold it back. Come up with the thread. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep the thread turns the same, and that gives you a nice even body. Fold it forward. 1, 2, 3. Fold it back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come forward. 1, 2, 3. We'll do one more because I like them nice and chunky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fold it forward. 1, 2, 3. Now, because this is the last one, I'll do a few more turns, and then I'll whip finish on that segment. 5 turns, come in, pull it tight, cut your thread away, but leave an inch or 2. Okay, so we're looking at that. Finger and thumb at the back, hold the needle, and pull it off. And there we are. That's our body. Take the needle out before you stab yourself, which does happen quite a lot. Okay, and just place. Well, the first thing I do is take scissors on the end, the very end. Just nip this off to make it a sharp point, like so. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So that then is a detached body. Put it aside. Take your hook, and this is a heavyweight Supreme, size 10. And people say, "Oh yeah, we should be using dry fly hook." No, I like the heavyweight Supremes. Combined with the foam on the weight of the hook, it sits nice in the water. And to be honest, sometimes the takes you have with these, and especially if you fish in a bit of rough water, the takes you have, you want a nice strong hook because they can half wang it. So we put the hook in. Like I said, just like so. Back to Benici, and this is 12-0, and the color is tobacco, which is a perfect color for tiny green whale's glory. Because if you wax primrose, it comes to this color, just saying that's really good for that. Catch your thread on, come down to the back end of the hook. There's my feed screw down. On that one. Right, take a bit of, this is fiery brown seals fur. Just 1 or 2 pinch, just one good pinch. Drop that, so take a little bit more. Break it up. There. Just make a little butt out of it. 1, 2, 3. Like so. Now we come to our legs. Cock pheasant centre tail. Take the fibre off. You make, come on, if I can see these bloody lights, terrible. Make a loop, thread the end through, pull it through, like so. And that's one little fibre done. Do it again.
It helps if you have long fibres as well, doesn't it, Gav?
Yeah. If you can see that, look, I got one little joint at the top and I got the knot there. Just pull it, and if you want to get them perfect, run it for your finger and thumb, and you'll adjust the length of it. So it looks like so. Okay.
Yep.
Like you said, Derek, that's why you use, if you buy the wool tail, you want to use the centre feather, because the centre feather is the longest and the widest on the tail. The two sides of it are equal, because if you think of where the tail sits, you've got the smaller ones, feathers coming in, and this one really is the crowning feather that sits on the end, so it covers the other feathers. If you look at, where is that? I haven't got a good one there. They're all bloody centers. If you look at the other tail feathers, they'd be longer on the one side and shorter on the other one. That's because you got left and right. So always look for the center tail, and it gives you the longer fibers.
Okay, good.
Right, as like Blue Peter, as I prepared earlier. Right. Take your legs. Like I said, you got two knots. If you put 6 together, and what you're looking for is to join the bottom knots up, not the tips of the feathers, the bottom little knees. Okay, so join them up. 6 of them. You got to be able to count to do this as well.
Well, that's me out there.
Yeah. Well, you like to say.
You feed me the lines and I'll bite. Go on.
Well, somebody's got to.
They're too quiet. I think they're frightened of you.
It's the voice, the accent, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Right, we got 6. I like to keep up. The thing is, with something like a daddy, if you fish, I like fishing them in a bit of a wind. So if you got a wind, you go waves. So you want your fly to be seen. So just emphasize it a little bit more than the natural pattern. So my legs are normally about, oh, what's that? 2.5 inches, 2 inches maybe, give it 2 inches. So we tie 6 on the back, pointing outwards. Put them on. 1, 2, 3. Pull 3 of them to the left. 1, 2, 3, and 3 to the right. Just like so. So they lie flat. So where the body is, they lie in straight out. Just secure, tips in, the ends or the waist in. Trim it away. Take another 2. I hope somebody's not going to come to my house now. Somebody just pulled up outside, they can plug it off. Right, 2 more. Put the knees together. My phone is ringing as well, that can wait. Come just behind the eye and tie them forward and make them the same length as the back ones. Come forward, pull the 1 left, catch him to the left, 1 to the right, and just make them so they sit outwards. Trim the waist away, bring the silk back down to beyond the center of the hook, so you're going back down to where the base legs are. Take a hackle, and I love Cree. But Daddy's Cree is the best. White then, love them. Oh, you gotta love them. Pull one nice length feather out. You don't want them too long. Don't need it massively long because the foam that we're using is going to all the buoyancy. You just want this Cree. So, and that's about the length of it. So that's a size 10. So the length of that is about a size 10. Yeah.
Yep.
Trim the bottom section away. Pull a few fibers out. Goes to tie-in base, a nice strong tie-in base, and catch him in like so. Really fix him in, and just leave it hang. Come to our cheap cape. You can use an Indian cape or a Chinese cape. This is one of the old whiting capes I got, and these are the waist feathers off it. You take two relatively similar feathers, put them back to back, get them the same length, and it doesn't matter if they're a little bit scruffy because you want them, you know, and Daddy when he's on the water isn't looking his best, so don't panic about it. Oh, you bugger, come on now, sit there, get them tip to tip, trim most of the waist away, get the length you're looking for, hold it in your fingers and trim the waist from the bases off, like so. Okay, so that's how long our wings are going to be. Hold them on top of the hook, catch them in. The stalks, if you come up the hook, catch the stalks and fold them back on themselves, so they will never ever pull out. Trim them away. Come on now, can't see it. Trim them away. Pull the wings forward. A couple of turns behind. A couple of turns in front. And that's your wings set. I missed that one. Come on now. Okay. Just pull the bloody leg off. Don't worry, I'll do a bit of surgery on him.
An artificial one.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the lights. It's hard to work under these lights, but no excuses. Right. So that's our hackling, our legs in, all ready to go. Back to our detached body. Take the hook out. Thread your hook through the one section of the body. Come on, through like that. Put him back in a vise. Leave the hook hang. Open the legs. Open the wings. Pull your body up. Okay, so it's ready to go. Take a little bit more seal's fur. Make it nice and scruffy. You don't need a lot. You're just trying to give a base for the palmed hackle that we're going to put in. Pull everything out of the way, like so. And now just come through with a bit of seal's fur right up to the legs. Put the silk in front of the eye. Make sure the wings are sitting there and the 3 legs each side. Roll the hook upside down. Pull the body tight, or the underbody tight. Come around. And catch it in. 1. Come on, leg out the way. 2 turns. Make sure it's sitting nice and neat. roll it back around. Oh no, I shouldn't have done that, should I? See, I got ahead of myself then. Put that back out of the way. First thing we got to do, palmer. Come up through the body. Do your free. Oh, let it go.
That's because you're rushing, Gav.
No, I'm Welsh.
Oh, it's contagious.
Right. Trim your hackle away. So now it's nice and scruffy, nice and rough. Right. Now we flip it upside down. Come through, pull the hackle down, part it. Put that leg on. Sitting nice. These lights are terrible. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. Roll him back around. Pull his legs forward. Make sure his wings and his back legs are right. Just flatten the hackle a little bit. And then just pull the back forward. 1, 2. Check it. Yeah, that's good. And then give it a few turns. Come in. Trim it off. Don't throw this foam away because you can use it for other things. Just nip the lens off. Pull everything back out of the way. And there we are. Leave those little butts sticking up. Come forward. And we're finished. I haven't tied one of these for ages, to be honest with you. Well, I got about, I must have about 30 in my box. Because when I tie them, I'll tie a load.
That'll float like a cork, that will.
Exactly. People say, oh, they're heavy. Or they're big. But to be honest, if you look at a male crane fly, they're not big. This isn't big. Pull the hackle out, make it look really rough. I like the wings sitting down. And there we are. Put a bit of varnish on it, or a bit of UV. And there we are. If you look at that, look, the body is poking up, the wings are down, and the legs are down. So when it sits, because of the weight of the hook, it sits flat. It actually sits that shape on the water.
Just below the surface film, isn't it?
Yeah, see how the wings are floating back?
Yeah.
So it's basically crippled.
That's a handy little tip about tying the foam. You know, sliding one of the parts of the foam through the hook itself.
Yeah, well, the thing is now, although it is a detached body, you've got foam on top and foam underneath. That floats like a cork. And if you're on a big reservoir like Rutland, Grapham, Clywedog, whatever, you normally fish them in a breeze. It's normally wavy, so you want them to be seen. And you could just put it out there, say with a 10 or 12 foot leader, and just leave it. I do also tie them sometimes where the tail meets the body with the foam. I'll put a little signal of that on. Just cut a 3 mil length and have a little V coming up. The fish can't see it, but you can. So when it's out there, it can be 30, 35 yards out. You'll see that little yellow spot.
It's a sighter.
Exactly. Just like we do on the rivers.
Yeah.
You see it.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's nice. That's makes sense now the way you tied it.
Yeah, it sits now flat. And I have tied them with lighter hooks, and no, I prefer. A lot of people say, "Oh, yeah, but that's a heavy hook." Yeah, but it's a hook that when you hook fish, you land them.
Says to do a job, innit?
Exactly. And the amount of foam that's on there, it's not a problem. So I'll put a couple of photos up later on. And there we are. Right, what are we going to do now? Shall we do a pike fly? I've never done a pike fly on here, have I?
No, not yet.
No. Oh, look at these bloody legs, they've flown away. So when you're doing it, you put the needle in. Try to get a silk that's non-waxed, because then it'll slide off. If it's waxed, they just pull and you can rip the foam to pieces.
I'll have a job getting on.
Yeah, so non-waxed, like Persil silk,
Mm.
the old-fashioned stuff. You could even use cotton if you wanted to. I don't think Mrs.'s sewing box. I'll always stick. It doesn't matter because it's going on foam, and sometimes the thicker the thread, the better it is because it doesn't cut through the foam.
Yeah.
A lot of people pull it too tight, and you could just scissor right through it. Right, put that over there. Don't want those needles out of the way. Super glue. And I'll put my cape. That's a lovely cape. Do you like capes like that?
Gorgeous, isn't it?
Yes,
And
it's
they're fabulous. I think I've said it before with the Cree. If you buy this is a bronze, yeah, you get things like, where's it gone?
You get black centers to them and all sorts.
Well, this is off that cape. That's a green mills.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's a green mills. Because it's ginger, black center, and it's got little black tips. I don't know if you can see the little black tips, but that's a proper green mills, and they are like rocking horse teeth. So with the Cree, you get them in there because that's how the bird is made up. Because there's a couple on the back end. Look. Love it. I do. Just don't tell the wife how much you pay for them. Have you seen the price on these? Have you seen the price on the grade one? They're up, in the States, they're up to about $200.
Yeah.
For the cape. Absolutely crazy. Right. Swig of water.
Is there a seal here?
I do.
Who was yawning then?
It sounded like a seal.
Is that you, Richard?
It was. Waking myself up.
Right. We'll do a pike fly. Alos did one, I think, last year or the year before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the same lines. It's a teardrop shape. I think I put them on a picture of them on the page before, but I've never tied one. So
Jamie's going to tie some for us. On you, Jamie.
oh, good. Let's get them on it. Right. It's going to be the teardrop shape, and it's going to be a lightweight.
Right.
I'm going to be using a sequin. Bag of sequins. We'll find a nice green one. But we're going to tie cat whisker version, right? It's going to be lime and white. So go in the haberdashery shop with your kids or have your grandkids, get some sequins. You won't be ashamed then, see? It's for the kids. Partridge are red edge. Attitude extra. Get out of the way. And it's a size, it's a 1/0. Get your sequin. Needle. Take a double needle. Just make the hole in the middle of it a little bit bigger so it fits on the hook. Okay. Thread your sequin on. And there's hardly any weight in these at all. You can add a little bit of weight if you like. But I fish these on one of my local reservoirs, Pond Sticketh. And there's a couple of deep holes there, a couple of steps. You've got to be casting, I'd imagine, 20, 25 yards to get to them. So having an heavily weighted fly just doesn't do it. So keep them nice and light, does the job. Okay, UTC. This is it's the lime, no, it's the fluoro green. Catch on, or I should say first, I've put the sequin on, pushed it up to the eye and just leave it loose. Put a good bed of the fluoro green. Take a bit, take a pinch of, this is the Vineyards Mirror Flash. And this is the yellow. I think it's green and yellow mix. Just take a few strands. But sometimes, to be honest, with these big flies, less is more, less is better. Just take a few, catch them on, right on top. Up a little bit. Make a tail, fold it over on itself. Make it nice and thick, secure it down. That's the tail. We'll take a bit of this glister dubbing, the sparkle glister dub, and this is the Chartreuse. Take a good pinch. Break it up between your fingers and thumb, just like so. And whack it on, dub it on. Nice and loose. Come on, questions? Any questions? No?
No.
Tighten it down.
What does the sequin do at the front?
Yeah, you'll see now.
You
Put
bring
the
that back a bit.
dubbing on. Okay. Come up with the thread behind the sequin, and we're finished. Trim off. Okay, dubbing brush. I did have one, yeah. Pull the dubbing back so it really pulls out. Just like so. This makes the body a little bit thicker, a little bit denser. Shove the sequin over the thread so it touches the dubbing. Reconnect. You waste away. Secure the sequin, like so. Take a little bit more of your dubbing.
Because Alois uses that half a bead, doesn't he?
Yeah. And you can use the my youngest lad is into carp fishing big time, and you can get the tungsten beads in different colors. So if you want to weight the fly, you can use a bead like Arlos did, and that gives you the weight. But of course, it's if you're casting a far distance, it's hard to throw them out then. So, but for short casting, like if you're using on a river, not a problem. Or if you're on a small water, or if you're off a boat, great stuff. You can crack on with that. But if you're off a bank, like I don't normally fish, I tend to keep them as light as I can. I use a weighted line. You know, I use an intermediate or a die free, and that gives me the weight that I need just to take it down. Take your dubbing tight to the sequin, just to secure it. Put it all back. Dubbing brush. My God, everything's disappearing now. Pull some of the dubbing out. Just like so. Right. So that's our tail, back dubbing of sequin in, and a bit of front dubbing. Now, for the body, Deer Creek, these are living fibers, but it's called glisten glint. Chartreuse, and it's got pearl running through it, and my God, the amount of colours Nick got. Name it, he's got it. He's got like fire roach, which is good for pike. Black embers, which is really good. It's like a black with a peacock going through it, which is really nice. But for this, I'm using the Chartreuse. Cut the bottom of the, and when I get it, I don't open the packet, I cut it. cut the bottom of the pack away. So it stays in the pack. Go in. Make sure your desk is nice and neat and tidy so you don't mix the fibres up. Take a few fibres out. Lay them down. Take a few more out. Lay them down. Lay them on top. Few more. Lay them on top. So what I'm actually doing is I'm building, now you can't see it because I'm off the camera. I'm building little layers up. And when that's there, I've taken, it's about that thick. Okay, so it's not a massive amount there. There's maybe 3/4 of an inch. So I'll leave that. For a bit more flash, crystal mirror flash. This is the Chartreuse from Vineyard. There's 2 or 3 fibers. Not a massive amount. Lay it on top. Out of the way. I've lost the packet of it. Where the hell's that gone to there? Okay, so what I've got now is a Chartreuse with a mirror through it. I'm just gonna blend it through my fingers and thumbs. Just take it out, put it back on. Take it out, put it back on. So it's underneath. So it goes longer and longer and longer. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Depending on how long you want the fly, it's your choice. Look at the length of it. Think, right, I want it that long, or I want it a little bit shorter. I take that and just blend it back in there. That's nice. Look how long you want it. With your right hand, measure the length you want. Swap it over. Keep in that position. Place it on the head. Hold it. 1, 2, 3 light turns. Finger and thumb, just move it around. Shift it around so it goes all the way around the hook. Take your time with it. Make sure it's sitting as you want it to. Get it underneath. Pull it. So you're creating. Now you asked what the sequence was. The sequin now is underneath and it's lifting the material up. Instead of it lying flat, see the way it's going? Flexing up. That's because the sequin is there. Now when you've pushed it all the way around, 1, 2, 3 good, nice strong turns. Pull all the material back. And now push the forward facing material backwards. Just open it, move it. As it starts to go, look, it sits back nice and neat for you. Just pull it back. Pull it back. And there we are.
That's what the sequin's for.
That's what the sequence was. See the shape now?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Pull it back. Got a few turns of thread there. And there we are. That's the body fixed. If I take it out, look, you can see the length of it now. Yeah? There's hardly, it looks a lot, but there's hardly anything in it. And because it goes like a tear shape, when you fish it, it flattens out. It closes down when you cast in and when you actually hold it in hand, but when you fish, it opens out and it wiggles through the water. It's amazing stuff. And of course, because it's totally synthetic, it doesn't hold any water. It just casts the water away. Right. Make that nice and flat there.
Would you ever put a bead on it to sink it, or?
If you can replace the bead, the sequin rather, with a tungsten bead. Similar to what Arnold did. It's very, very similar. These have been round for decades. But that then gives you the weight inside.
Yeah, take it down.
But they can be, if you, like I said, if you cast in distance with them, they can be really hard to do. So what I tend to do, like I said, just like I'm fishing with trout, I put a die 3 on, use the line to get out, the line will take it down, and it's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking of fishing on a canal.
Yeah, you can. For short
Yeah.
distance, yeah.
I'd probably have to use a weight then, though, wouldn't I? Not a
Put
sinking line.
you can put a bit of lead in it if you like.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Dubbing brush. These are for pike flies, for lure flies. Okay. Take our, oh, where's that? Right. Take our brush. You can get all these from Deer Creek. Nick does them all. Pull. This is a dubbing brush. That's all this is basically, is dubbing on a wire. But instead of cutting it down, it's kept long, and it creates this little brush. Just give it a little brush with a comb to get all the little pain in the arse fibers out. Put it tight. Once you get, if you want to do these and you tie them, they're so easy to do. You'll get used to them really quickly. Right, so take about an inch, or maybe a little bit more. Cut it away close to the wire. Hold it tight in your finger and thumb, and just tease the little loose fibers away. Like that. Get rid of them. Because you're trying to make it nice and light and nice and attractive. Going on there now, my fingers are sweating. Look how long you want the fibers. Do exactly the same as you do with the wing. Reverse it. Like so. Take that away. Place it on the head. Mold it around. Just push it around the eye. 1, 2 loose turns. Make sure it's all around fly, just like so. Pull it tight, and then tease the fibers backwards, just like so. Tease them back, so it gives you a nice finish in the front. Okay with it, with a few turns. Just like so. And there we go. That's the cat's whisker effect. Yeah?
Yeah.
Lime on white.
No.
Okay. Just put it there for now. I saw this dead on the road up by coming back. He was actually coming back from Sportfish. Bring neck feather. Remember I put a couple of photos of it up? I brought it home, I cleaned it, I put it on the radiator. Look at it. You got all those colours going through it.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah. You got like whites, creams, dark feathers. Now, so all I've done is taken 2 of these, one from the left, one from the right. Put that back in the bag. There's a bit. I've had to put a little bit of flea powder in it. It did have a couple of friends with it. Well, the wild bird, so he just brought a few friends with him. So I pulled 2 off.
I use naphthalene crystals. Gav.
Yeah, you can. But they just mothballs, isn't they?
Yeah.
These little things in there are walkie things, so they got to be killed. There it is. I got 2 of the feathers. Strip the waste away. Okay, off the 2. make them nice and even. And the reason why you got a left and a right is they're the same. It should be pretty good. Is that when you actually sit them on the fly, they'll sit nice and neatly in the same direction each side. So if you look at that, look, one's the left and one's the right.
Yeah.
It's the same with all birds. The feathers are, well, identical to either side, and when you've got to match them up. Right. So with the feather flowing down, it comes to my side, and flowing down to the left, and flowing down from the right, it goes to the other side. So we just catch them in, like so. 1, 2. So it makes a cheek. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So to the other side. Just place it. You just place it on, so the base of the feather just touches the head. Just hold it. 1, 2. So it sits, and if you look, come on, sit tightly. The width of the feather is roughly the same width as the pattern. Yeah?
Yeah.
Pull them so they're tidy, like that. Come forward, pull the stalks backwards, and tie them in. Catch them in. Don't worry about making a nice big thick head. If you don't fold them back, those feathers will pull out. So it's just a bit of security. Take your blade, trim off the stalks, and now secure it. Make a nice neat head. And what you can do, if you like, because we've got a green, make it a little bit more attractive, take fire orange, catch it on, half a dozen turns, put the 2 skag ends underneath the fire orange, and then make a nice neat head in front. Cut that away. Cover everything. Where's my whip finish tool? And whip finish. Now to stop that untying, fraying, take a little bit of UV. Or you could take a bit of Sally Hansen, it's up to you, whatever you want to do. But I like the UV. I like the this diamond fine UV from Deer Creek, because it spreads nice and it soaks into the material. And it just covers neatly. You put the top on the bloody UV though, because it goes everywhere. Just turn it in the vise. Leave it flow. And then when it's nice and neat, just hit it with a torch. There it is. Now, there's 2 reasons for the cheeks. One is they look nice and they make the fly attractive. Okay, and it sparks the interest of the pike or whatever predator you're going for. But 2, and the most important one, and the reason why I did this is, I don't know if you've ever used these UV eyes, with the red and eyes.
Yeah.
But when you super glue them on, should I use those nice and bright ones? Yeah, or should I use the dark ones? Which ones should I use? Them ones or them ones?
Them ones.
These ones?
Them ones. Nah.
These ones?
Yeah.
Right, okay. When you super glue the eyes on, to just fibers, I always tend to find they break off. 2 or 3 casts and they're gone. So what I've done is put the cheek on. So now I've given them the eye a flat base for the super glue to sit onto.
Yeah.
And a bigger base for the super glue to sit onto. So what we do, take an eye. Take the super glue. This is gel. Spot some gel onto the back of the eye, like so. And then just place the eye I didn't want to do that. Place the eye like so.
Yeah.
Onto the shield or the cheek. Okay, roll him over. Do him again. And you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot of glue. So just line him up. Make him sit there. Push him down. Try not to use your fingers. Use what I normally use, to be honest, is the forceps and a needle. So I'll place it on and I'll push it down with the needle, just like so. And that is basically it. I'll leave that dry for about 24 hours to leave the super glue cure. Although it flashes off, it doesn't really go hard for 24 hours. But when it's done, I go back to my UV. Or if you like, I'll use Sally Hansen for this, right? You can do it with the UV, but if you get Sally Hansen, and this is the insta dry, within a minute it's gone. Where you got the eye, take your Sally, dip it on the eye, cover the eye, and then push it out about at least the width of the brush around the feather. So the whole thing gets covered, sits in, goes nice and hard, and it's sealed, and that'll never come off. The only way it comes off is when you actually hit fish and they smash the cheeks off. So super glue the eyes on, leave them overnight. Dab either UV or your Sally Hansen on the top. Come out the width of the brush all the way around the feather, so the eye is encased and it seeps through the feather. Never come off. What do you think?
Lovely.
Looks good, yeah.
You can take a scissor then, you can see it like that because it's a little bit long. You can just take a scissors and just nibble away the ends. That is it.
Yeah.
Nice strong look. Eyes, you got the colours. In fact, I did put my box down here somewhere. Right, let's have a look. Get off. Did a pink one. Exactly the same pattern, same feathers, same eyes up.
Yeah.
Just change the colour. So there's a pink. Where's my boy? I've been in here and he's robbed most of them, to be honest. Absolute guess.
Any particular colours work better?
That one. That's black with silver through the middle of it. Just a normal black and silver with those cheeks and more silvery eyes. You see the eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're all about the same length. The same hooks. It's the Party's Attitude hooks. You can scale them down. You know, you can You can make them. You can make pike flies massive. You can make them that big if you want to. No, it's a perch. You can make them that big, but they're absolute. If you're fishing off a bank like I do, they're absolute sods to cast. These cast like a trout fly. The heaviest part of it is the hook, and because, like I said, they're all synthetics. You can they just shed water. That's a different one, look. But that's the old type, which I've encased the eyes totally in resin.
Yeah.
And that's the standard little type with the eyes on the fibers. But I'll guarantee those will pull off. They'll pull off. So doing them like this, either the chartreuse one or the pink, encased in it, it just makes it a little bit more secure. And if you work hard on flies, nothing worse than having them falling a bit. Pisses me off to be. Right, chuck that out of the way, leave it dry, leave the sally go off. In fact, it's probably dry. Right. So that's a pike fly.
Lady,
Really nice.
Right then. Shall we do? I've done a black and peacock with you, haven't I?
yeah,
Ooh.
I think you did that last time, Gav.
Yeah, what did I do? What did I do with it?
Hang on.
Can you remember? Did I do panels? Right, I'll tell you what I'll do this time. We'll do this. We'll chuck that over there.
You did a blue dun, black
Yeah.
spider, black panel, blay and black, easy tie tadpole, and easy tie marabou tadpole the last time.
Right. Get me scissors ready. Where's my scissors? It's there. Got that ready. Don't need that. I've got my hackle pliers. Where's my hackle pliers? Everything's all over the place. You've made a hell of a mess, Derek, I can tell you. Right. Back to old school stuff. Hook. Thread. Catch it on. Trim it off. Yeah. If you can't see me, tell me, because I might be going low with it. Yeah. Make a good base. Take 3 or 4 fibers of peacock. I'll get three decent ones. Tips. There's the tip. Take this bloody glister everywhere. Right. Take those 3. Catch them on. Catch them in. Secure them. Trim the waist away, okay? Move the thread then down to the base of the hook where you're going to start the body, right? And just build the body. Come up to the eye, come down a few turns, come back up to the eye, and come down a few turns, right down to the base, like so. Cross the thread, 2, 3, and then wiggle your thread through the body, just like so. Trim the ends away. So we got a nice body, right? Which won't fall apart because your thread has gone through the peacock girls. Take a hackle. Cut that little bit away. Trim some of the base feathers off. In fact, we'll take a few off. We'll tie it with a curve towards ourselves. Catch it on. No, I can't see it. I have to get some floodlights here. Catch it on. 3 or 4 turns, right? Now, normally you'd put the silk at the eye, but take it down to the base of the body. Ankle players. Dabbing some head in, sparkling everywhere. Catch. Ankle players on. Go to the eye and work down to the body. Turn your thread at the base. 1, 2, 3. Wiggle it through the hackle, right up tight to the eye. Trim the hackle away. Preset, side to side, above and below. Preset till it sits where you want it to. Yes, like so. Pull them all back. Make a nice little neat head. And then whip finish. Trim the silk away. And there we have a Black and Peacock.
What hook was that? 10?
Size 10.
You'll have Derek practicing that now till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Well, the next time now I come on you, I expect you all to be doing this with your fingers.
Sticking up.
What, sticking hooks in them?
Yeah. Like that. You know, my grandfather, well, I never really knew my grandfather. 2 of them died before I was born. He was a collier, Merthyr Vale Colliery, where the Aberfan disaster happened and all. And he fly fished all his life, and he never owned a vice. He used to have a split in his nail, and he used to put it the fly in his nail, and tie flies like that on the bank. I started tying flies when I was 8, 9 year old, and I saw Mark Morgan on a Welsh program, a Welsh TV program, and I didn't have a clue what he was saying because I'm a South Walian and we don't speak Welsh. And he tied a coca bondi in his fingers, and it's the first time I ever saw fly tying. And for the first, I'd say 3, 4, maybe 5 years, I never used a vice. I used my fingers. And I went to Penandre High School, and one of the teachers, Mr. Bynan, he was a fly fisherman. And he said, "Oh, bring your fly tying kit in." I brought it in, and I tied a fly in front of him, and he just went, he shouldn't have said, he went, "Fucking hell, how did you do with that?" And the next thing I knew, I was down in the metalwork class, and he said, "Will you make one of these, a fly tying vice?" And it's the first vice I ever had. First one I ever had. I made it in school. I actually think I still got it in one of the drawers somewhere. But it's not as hard as you think. You got a little bit of strength in your fingers, but there's things you do. Like I started off with the silk. Then I caught the material in and I tied it down to the base of, or the butt end of the hook or the fly, yeah? You just roll it up, down, make the shape you want, take it back, 3 turns of silk, and then roll it through the body. And it's as simple as that. Your body is done. You'll never come undone. And when you tie the hackle on, you leave the thread at the base of the body, start the hackle at the eye, and roll back to the silk. 3 turns to catch it in, and then wiggle your thread through the hackle. Snap it off, do a head. You aren't going to do whip finish. You can do an half hitch. Use a biro, the end of a biro.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But so it proves really you haven't got to have all the fantastic tools in the world and the best vices in the world and pettage on scissors. You can do it basically with cheap materials and still catch fish. So come on, questions then. Ask me some questions. But don't make them hard ones, please. Make them Is Man United going to beat Liverpool on Monday? Yes, they are.
What colours were pike flies? What are the best colours to use for tying pike flies?
It depends on the weather. It depends mostly on the weather and sometimes on the water. Like where I fit in my local reservoir is Ponsticketh and Dollagare. It's crystal clear. But if you go to Langos, it's darker. The water's darker. So the Chartreuse work better in Langos, but in my local water, the darker patterns. Or you also got to look at the prey fish that are in there. Like there's a lot of roach, there's a lot of rudd, there's a lot of perch.
So silvers and blacks.
Silvers and blacks.
Mm.
You look at a roach, he's black on top and he's silver underneath. The one I just showed you, that my boy is pinched, is black and silver. But to be honest, if a pike is there and he's angry, he'll take a leg of a chair, like, you know. That's what they do, don't they?
Do you ever put like a plastic bait fish head on your pike flies and attach the eyes to the plastic bait fish head?
Like the skull head, is it?
Yeah, like stone foam and fish skull are popular here in Kent.
Like those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can just super glue the eyes into the
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes, because that gives you a bit of weight as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If it works, you use it. It works. But like I say, with the eyes, especially what I find is if you just super glue the eyes onto the fibers, they pull off.
Mm-hmm.
You're pulling them through stones, through weed, they come off. So using that shield, it's only a pheasant feather, but it's flat. So when the eye goes onto it, it's got a bigger base for the super glue to adhere to.
Right.
And when you cover it with either UV or the tally, it covers the eye, but it also covers through the feather. So it gives you more adhesion, a little bit more security then.
Mm.
That's what they look like on. Nice, you like that?
Yes,
Yeah.
nice.
Good, impressive.
And you got a little red nose as well.
Very Christmassy.
But that's what they look in the water. But when they actually fish, right, because it's a fibre and you're pulling it, they spread out like that. You know?
It must pulse a fair bit in the water as you're pulling
They
it
do,
in.
'cause when you're pulling, it stops and it dips.
Yeah.
But that's why I like. The reason why I like them light is for casting purposes. If you're on a boat or a canoe or whatever, you can use them with weight because you haven't got to cast them 25 yards. But around here you have. Because so many people fish for the fish and they get caught and they get released. They are that little bit further out. They do get a bit hook shy. So you've got to look for the ledges where they are. Like where they got Ponstick Reservoir and you got Dollagare Reservoir. In between there's a bridge and there's steps. The dam is like steps. And they're about 18, maybe 20 meters deep. So these steps go out, they drop 2 meters, out, drop 2 meters, and the pike lie on them. So if you can't cover that distance out there, you're not going to pick them up. So use a weighted line, die 3, die 5, does a job for you. Yeah, and plus if you use a weighted line, you can fish them on the top to pull them quicker, or you can leave them just sink till they go to the bottom.
Mm. Good.
Right, lads, it's nearly 20 to 9. Gav's got to go.
Oh,
Hope you enjoyed it.
it was great, Gav. That's what we always have.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Thank
Gav.
you very
So
much.
I expect you tomorrow, Derek, to be giving a little video of tying one of these in your fingers.
Have you seen Derek's little sausages?
Yeah.
Only they be personal.
Oh, you did like it, I'd say, yeah. The flies, you played really good.
I'm getting better at dyeing as well.
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah.
Del.
Well,
Mm. And the one tip with the, where's it gone? With the Zonker,
Yeah,
your eyes. Don't put them too close to the eye. Put them at
Slightly
where the
further back.
wing base is.
Yeah.
Where your wing lifts. Same with the cat's whisker. Same with like a frog nobbler. Where the wing lifts, that's where the eyes sit. Don't put them near to the eye. Put them right on the base of the wing. And as soon as you see it and you do it, you say, my God, that looks a lot better as well. Yeah?
yeah.
Like that. See the way he sits?
Yeah.
Very nice.
I hope you pressed record, Derek.
I better press stop recording, haven't I?
Yeah, I think we're done now.
Cheers, Gav.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thank you, Gavin.
Thank
If
you.
you want me-